The Steam Tower Defense Next Fest was happening, so there were a few games to try out. Like a really good one where you had to defend by making a Tetris maze. Or an old school one I was really wanting to show here, but there was one even better and now I want to show you that one. The game is called Loop Structure. In here you simply get to defend your castle with towers, but what makes it special is that these towers are placed in a loop. I would rather call them tracks instead of loops, but hey, it's their game. At first I wasn't too sure about the tracks, since to me it didn't seem like an entirely good way of defending a castle, because if your towers move themselves out of range by moving down the tracks, you can go from feeling incredibly strong to feeling incredibly powerless. However, I can see that you can't build a game like this without this hurdle. At the start it's easy to place the tracks because you don't really get multiple options on how you want the trains to drive. The further you get in the game, however, you get to develop your tracks. But that also comes with a downside. If those towers don't get to finish their loop in time, there won't be a special loop field that affects the enemies. When I first got to that, I didn't really understand it was a big deal, but now looking back to it, it was a very important thing. I especially knew that after playing Repel the Rift with the damage affecting fields. I'm sure that at that point the game got harder for me, but I was still surviving pretty long in that run. So what I learned from that is that you have to keep the track small for that special field. On the other hand, I was enjoying the filling and the building of the track so much, I didn't know what to do with that amount of loop points because they just gave it to me. In the end I made the loop a bit smaller. But I didn't really like all the dots on the map because they make it look a bit chaotic. When you get further in the game, you also get to level up your towers, and that's really what I loved in this game. Also the tracks, but this was good as well. Normally you get to purchase an upgrade, but I was really liking how it was done here, with a merging feature. For the upgrade to happen you need 3 of the same kind of towers on the same train for those towers to merge. I was kind of already suspecting they would do that, since why else would they give me 3 of the same kind of towers? But what especially gave it away was that there isn't even a money system in this tower defense. When the towers merged, I was really overjoyed because I like the games where stuff can merge to a certain extent. For example, when you need to have 30 of the same things to just get to level 5, which is just a bit stronger than it gets at level 4, it feels a bit like a grind. Luckily this game didn't have that and felt really fun to play. The moment I get to face enemies for the first time in games like these always stuns me a bit, because I really like seeing what I get to face and the variety in them. In this game it's really great that you first get to see the silhouettes of the monsters and then where they get to spawn. So you can time it with your towers being near those locations for them to be in range for some damage. There wasn't much special about them other than a few that look a bit different and their different health bars, but I think that's because of the tower defense genre making them only attracted to the tower. I did however like that there were mini bosses and bosses. Like I was quite enjoying my fight against a chicken, and it coming from a different act once it was defeated was so annoying, but also really made it for me. The boss I really struggled against was the spider boss, because it spawned in so many enemies you didn't really have time to damage the boss. And before you knew it, the boss was already spawning in more enemies, making you get overwhelmed by all the new enemies and then losing. With all those unique features, the game didn't feel like a boring tower defense where you just need to stare at the screen and hope to survive the wave. I mean, it all just comes down to planning your next moves before the action starts. But I really like this version of the genre. And what especially makes this game feel fresh and exciting to me are of course the roguelike features. Like how a package is dropped where you get multiple choices of towers, and the special packages where you get to choose from upgrades affecting the whole game. If you want to see these kind of videos in the future, consider subscribing, and if you want to see another video right now, click here.